The prediction that the Arctic could be ice-free during summer by 2027 is a significant one. Scientists define an ice-free Arctic as having less than 1 million square kilometers of sea ice. This is a serious climate tipping point. According to recent studies, this event could occur much sooner than previously expected. Earlier projections had suggested this might happen around 2030, but new findings indicate that it could happen by 2027. The methodology behind this prediction is comprehensive. Researchers have used over 300 computer models to simulate future climate scenarios. These models examine various factors affecting Arctic ice levels. As a result, they provide a range of outcomes. Most projections suggest that the Arctic could experience its first ice-free day within the next 8 to 19 years. This variation accounts for different climate conditions and greenhouse gas emission scenarios. The loss of Arctic ice has been rapid. Since 1978, the Arctic has been losing sea ice at a rate of 12% per decade. This equates to a loss of approximately 80,000 square kilometers annually. In 2023, the Arctic sea ice reached its seventh lowest extent on record. This was measured at 4.28 million square kilometers, nearly 2 million square kilometers below the 1981 to 2010 average. Such statistics underscore the urgency of addressing climate change impacts in the region. Temperature anomalies in the Arctic have also been alarming. For instance, in March 2022, parts of the Arctic experienced temperatures that were 10 degrees Celsius above the average. These anomalies contribute to accelerated ice melt and could trigger earlier occurrences of ice-free conditions. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for predicting future changes and preparing for their impacts. An ice-free Arctic would have profound effects on the ecosystem. The loss of sea ice threatens the survival of various species, including polar bears and seals. These animals depend on sea ice for hunting and breeding. A reduction in sea ice could lead to significant declines in their populations. Additionally, marine life such as zooplankton, which forms the base of the Arctic food web, would be disrupted. This could have cascading effects throughout the ecosystem. The global climate would also be affected by an ice-free Arctic. The loss of reflective ice, known as the albedo effect, would cause the Arctic Ocean to absorb more sunlight. This absorption could lead to increased warming of the upper ocean layers. Subsequently, this could alter global heat distribution, potentially resulting in more erratic and severe weather events worldwide. The Arctic and Antarctic regions are warming at a rate 4 times faster than the rest of the planet, amplifying these concerns. Such changes in the Arctic could contribute to a warming feedback loop. As the ice melts and the ocean absorbs more heat, further ice loss is expected. This cycle could result in a blue Arctic during summer months where open water predominates. This scenario would have lasting impacts on global weather patterns, including possibly more intense storms and shifting precipitation patterns across the globe. Moreover, an ice-free Arctic would symbolize the significant impact of human activities on the environment. It serves as a visible reminder of the ongoing climate crisis. The changes in the Arctic are not isolated. They are interconnected with global climate systems. This highlights the need for urgent action to mitigate further damage and adapt to the changes that are already occurring. While the ecological and climatic impacts of an ice-free Arctic are concerning, there are also implications for human activities. The absence of ice could open new opportunities for commercial ventures. For instance, shipping routes through the Northwest Passage could become more viable. This could shorten travel times and reduce costs for international trade, especially between Europe and Asia. The potential for resource extraction is another consideration. An ice-free Arctic could facilitate access to previously untapped resources such as oil, gas, and minerals. This prospect attracts interest from various countries and corporations looking to exploit these resources. However, such activities pose environmental risks, including oil spills and habitat disruption, which need careful management. Fishing is another industry that could expand with reduced ice cover. As fish populations shift due to changing ocean temperatures, new fishing grounds may become accessible. This could benefit coastal communities economically, but also raises concerns about overfishing and the impact on marine biodiversity. Despite these opportunities, the first ice-free day will not be a cause for celebration. It marks a significant turning point in the Earth's climate system. The potential economic benefits must be weighed against the environmental costs and ethical considerations. Sustainable practices and international cooperation are essential to balance development with conservation in the Arctic region. Mitigating the impacts of an ice-free Arctic requires global efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. While the first ice-free day appears inevitable, its frequency and duration can be influenced by our actions. Drastic reductions in emissions could delay the timeline and reduce the severity of future conditions. This involves transitioning to renewable energy sources, enhancing energy efficiency, and promoting sustainable practices across industries. International agreements play a crucial role in mitigation strategies. Policies like the Paris Agreement provide a framework for countries to commit to emission reductions. Cooperation among nations is vital to address the challenges posed by climate change, particularly in sensitive regions like the Arctic. Such agreements can facilitate collaborative research and the sharing of resources to develop innovative solutions. Public awareness and engagement are also important. Educating communities about the impacts of an ice-free Arctic can inspire collective action. Individuals can contribute by adopting sustainable lifestyles and advocating for climate-friendly policies. Grassroots movements and non-governmental organizations have the power to influence governmental policies and corporate practices. In conclusion, the prediction of an ice-free Arctic by 2027 is a stark reminder of the urgency of addressing climate change. The potential consequences for ecosystems, global climate, and human activities are significant. While challenges lie ahead, proactive measures can mitigate some impacts and delay the timeline. It is imperative that we act swiftly and collectively to safeguard the future of our planet and its diverse life forms.